Hi all, welcome and welcome back to my channel. I want to make you aware of a much awaited trial that is scheduled to start jury selection on February 3rd of 2025 in Sullivan County, Tennessee. It's the trial of Megan Boswell. If that name rings a bell, that's because she was the mother of, and I use the term mother loosely, 1-year-old Evelyn Boswell, who went missing in December of 2019 while in her care, but wasn't reported missing until February 18th of 2020, almost 2 months later, and not by her mother or father. Why? Well, because her father joined the military and was off in another state, where it seems he lost touch with Evelyn and her mother. So it's unclear as to whether he knew she was missing or not. And her mother, Megan, was too busy lying to everyone, telling them Evelyn was with her dad, who was on holiday leave from the military, while she ran around enjoying a kid-free life with her new boyfriend. Sound familiar? Eerily familiar, if you ask me. Baby Evelyn's case was one of the very first cases I covered on my channel. She captured my heart. And if you followed her case, I'm sure she captured yours too. Here's an excerpt from my first video about baby Evelyn's case. Remember, it was back in 2020, and I sounded much more like a reporter covering the story back then.
Today's video is about an adorable little 15-month-old toddler named Evelyn May Boswell, who was reported missing just yesterday, February 19th of 2020 in Sullivan County, Tennessee. You probably haven't heard about this missing baby unless you received the Amber Alert that was supposedly issued yesterday because Evelyn May Boswell did not go missing yesterday. Her disappearance was just reported yesterday. According to the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, little Evelyn has not been seen since December 26th of 2019. It has been 7 weeks since she was last seen. The moment I read this story, I panicked. It sounds eerily like the Kaylee Anthony case, where little Kaylee disappeared and her mother didn't report her missing for weeks. The details of this case so far will make your blood boil, but all we can do is pray for precious Evelyn May. Authorities are not disclosing many details in this case or why it took so long for the child to be reported missing. Apparently, neither parent bothered to report her missing. A spokesperson from the Sullivan County Sheriff's Department told Insider.com that it was a different family member that reported that Evelyn hadn't been seen in months. Again, just like the Kaylee Anthony case, where little Kaylee's grandmother reported her missing, not her mother, Casey. According to an email sent from Tennessee authorities to Insider, quote, the child's mother, Maggie Boswell, has been involved in the investigation, along with the father, Ethan Perry, who is active duty in the military stationed in Louisiana. So both the mother and father are involved in the investigation now that someone else reported Evelyn missing, not them. Dare I ask why the hell they weren't the ones to report it? Dad's gone to Louisiana, and Evelyn is in Tennessee with Mom. So we know that her mom knew she was missing. So is Dad going to say that they split up and he had no contact with Evelyn or her mom? He didn't ask for pictures or even check up on Evelyn to see how she was doing? Or did he know all along just like her mom? Well, this gets even better. A Tennessee man by the name of Hunter Wood met and started dating Maggie Boswell when she applied for a job at his restaurant, Hunter T's Chicken Shack in Blounteville. He claims that they had an on and off relationship throughout the month of December and that he never met little Evelyn. He said he saw pictures of her, but that he was told that she was staying with her father while he was home on military leave for Christmas. Again, just like the Kaylee Anthony case, where Casey Anthony kept lying to everyone, saying that Kaylee was with Zanny the nanny. Remember that? Zanny the nanny? For those of you who never saw the interview with Casey Anthony's father after the trial ended, he explained that he believed that the reference Zanny the nanny referred to the medication Xanax that he believed Casey was feeding to Kaylee to drug her so she could party with her friends. This is scary, guys. Wood said Maggie also told him that Evelyn had fallen off of the bed and broken her arm while staying with her father, so he had to take her to the hospital. Maggie Boswell has a Facebook page where she wrote on September 6th of last year, and I quote, "I'm not the best mom in the world, but I try so hard for this little beauty," she wrote, adding, "You can say whatever you want about me being a young mom, but I promise you, my life is so much better with this angel. My life wasn't ruined when I had her. She gave me a purpose and a reason to wake up every day and to better myself. There's no love like the love from your child." Now her Facebook is being flooded with people demanding that she knows where Evelyn is and for her to tell the authorities so that she can be found. I have to wonder, did she feed that story that Evelyn was with her father to her family and friends too so no one would suspect anything? If not, people had to wonder where Evelyn was. No grandparents, no aunts, uncles, nobody. Not until yesterday when somebody finally said something. This doesn't make any sense. Something is terribly wrong here. According to Insider, Evelyn's father, Ethan Perry, wrote in a Facebook post on Wednesday, "I'm currently working with authorities trying to find Evelyn. I can't say much more than that at the moment. If anybody knows anything, please message me. If anybody knows anything, please message me." Really? Where were you, dude? Why weren't you the one messaging the cops to tell them that your baby girl was missing 7 weeks ago? Strap in, people. I get a very bad feeling about this case. We may be dealing with another Casey Anthony here, and if we are, this isn't going to end well. I can't imagine any excuse that Evelyn's mother or father could possibly give that justifies not reporting this precious baby missing. I already know what I think happened, and if I'm right, we're looking at another trial of a disgusting liar who will try to convince us that nothing is her fault, just like Casey Anthony. Only this time, I hope she gets a jury with brains that'll convict her if she's guilty of hurting Evelyn. Even if she didn't hurt her, both parents need to do time for not being responsible enough to even report her missing. I'm going to end this video before I say things I shouldn't. This case has me very angry, and I hope it has you angry too.
I may have recorded that video back in 2020, but I gotta say, I believe that's exactly what we're in for with this trial. Megan Boswell, a disgusting liar, who will try to convince us that nothing is her fault. Now, I've been trying to find out if the trial's going to be televised, but I haven't been able to find any information to give you yet. I would hope it would be on court TV, but I can't confirm that. So, keep your eyes peeled over the next few days if you're interested in watching it. I know I am. And I hope we're all able to witness justice for baby Evelyn. If you're not familiar with the story of Evelyn Boswell, or if you think I should be yelling from the rooftops that Megan Boswell is innocent until proven guilty, well, I'll be happy to set both those situations straight for you. One, I knew Megan Boswell was guilty from the get go, and I wasn't the only one. But I'll be happy to walk you through the story of what happened through news clips, and you can decide what you think for yourself. But just a few spoilers to keep in mind as you watch the story unfold. Megan Boswell never reported baby Evelyn missing. Another family member did. Megan only started lying about her mother taking baby Evelyn and disappearing with her after Evelyn's father finally came forward to say Evelyn hadn't been with him at all. Megan said she couldn't take a lie detector test because she was pregnant again, which, if she was forced to take the lie detector test, we would have found out she lied about. And not only did Megan lie to police, but she posted on her Facebook page, providing information out to the public who was sharing that information, thinking it was true, in hopes that they were helping find little Evelyn. But, in a shocking turn of events, as the case unfolded, we learned that the information she was posting for the public was not true either. Here is Evelyn Boswell's story.
Abby and Russell, good morning to you. Evelyn Boswell was reported missing 1 week ago today. The TBI says there's been a lot of misinformation, both from her mother and on social media in general, but we are following several new developments this morning. First, the TBI released new pictures and home video of Evelyn. The agency shared it on Twitter to boost efforts to find her. Agents also answered questions about the case. They're encouraging everyone to only trust information from official sources like the TBI and the Sullivan County Sheriff's Office.
Obviously, with 2 months passing, they could be anywhere. And that's why it's all the more important that we keep this girl's picture out there in hopes that someone sees something that resolves this quickly.
Second, Megan Boswell, Evelyn's mother, posted to her Facebook account yesterday under the name Maggie Wood. This is the first time she's posted since the Amber Alert was issued. She shared new photos saying in part, "Please share and help me find my baby." Her post now has more than 1,400 comments and 2,500 shares. And finally, this morning, Evelyn's grandmother, Angela Boswell, is at the Sullivan County Jail, while her boyfriend, William McLeod, is being held in the Wilkes County, North Carolina jail. Both appeared in court for charges unrelated to the Amber Alert. They were arrested Friday after the TBI released a vehicle description of a stolen silver BMW in connection to the case. A $56,000 reward is now being offered. The TBI wants you to call 1-800-TBI-FIND if you have any information. They say they don't monitor social media 24/7 and they are not able to accept tips that way.
She's very sweet. She loves everybody. She's never been mean ever, which I'm very thankful for. She's just a really good-hearted baby in general. Like textbook how you want a baby to be, like has hit every milestone early, you know what I mean. Well, when she was 6 months old, she actually put a bottle on her own. It went straight to a sippy cup. She started walking probably around like 10 months. That was kind of hard though because she's like not like small as in like underfed, you know what I'm saying, but like she was a preemie when she was born. She's like a smaller baby and she kind of had trouble like balancing her weight, but she finally got the hold of it. She's starting to say a lot of words and, you know.
Tell me what kind of things she likes to do. What kind of is she into any certain TV shows?
Only Baby Shark. We went to Texas to see her dad, Ethan, and she slept the whole way there. Like I had to make her wake up to eat and stuff like that, and that's like a 24-hour drive there.
So let's get into the last time you saw her. Tell me what that time was like and when that was.
Well, actually, I want to talk about that. I've told TBI where to find her in Mendota. My mom took her to a campground and a silver camper, and if they don't go tonight, I'm going to go find her myself. Because I've told them, and they're not really, like, taking it seriously, and if they don't go tonight, like, I will go myself and go get her.
Tell me about the last time, though, that you saw Evelyn. Tell me what you guys did and when that was.
We went to go out to eat, and then my mom came and got her. She was wearing a little hot pink tracksuit with a matching bow and little matching shoes.
And was this December 20, like, right after Christmas?
A little bit before Christmas. My mom, like you can ask her, is a very vindictive, manipulating person, and yes. She basically like threatened me the whole time that she was gone.
Do you know who has Evelyn right now?
She dropped her off somewhere in Mendota at a silver camper. But my mom would always say the person, not like people, plural.
So there is a person that has her in Mendota.
They're not taking me seriously, TBI isn't, because I've not fully told them. I've been like, hey, like my mom camped out at Mendota, you want to go check them out, but I've never been like specifically, hey, she's not your silver camper, because my mom did threaten me, like, you know, if I told anybody. I'm not going to get into that, but she did.
So your mom has had Evelyn the whole time? Or the whole time?
Or the person that is in Mendota has had her the whole time.
Tell me why you let your mom take care of her. Did she take her from you that night? And
well, she was just supposed to babysit her because I was going to work.
And then when did you know that something was wrong?
Well, whenever, like, she picked me up Wednesday, and I told her, like, hey, they're doing a press release about the Amber Alert thing, and then she freaked out, and that's why they couldn't find her. Like, nobody talked to her for days until they arrested her. She just kind of, poof, gone. But she kept trying to take me to Mendota, and I kept asking. I was like, are you taking me to Evelyn? And she would never tell me yes or no. And I was like, well, if you're not, I'm just calling my police station to come and get me. Like, I'm not playing these games with you.
And so tell me, the day that you dropped her off with your mom to let her babysit, was there anything off about your mom that day? Did you have any suspicion that she was going to take your child?
No. Well, I called her, and she was just like, oh, she's safe, like, you know, that kind of thing. And then she started threatening me, which, like I said, I'm not going to get into, like, everything she threatened me with, you know, because I'm just not, but...
Obviously now that you believe you know who has her, what do you have to say to them?
To just bring her back.
Look in the camera.
I just want her back. That's all I want. I've been so long without her, and I know a lot of people are like, oh, why didn't you report it missing earlier? Because my mom threatened me, and I just want her back. That's all I can think about is how much I just want her back.
Talk to me about when you had the indication that she was missing and something was seriously wrong.
Just when she left and took off and just didn't answer her phone.
Talk to me about why your dad made that report.
Because he was talking to my mom the night before, and he was like, oh, well, if she doesn't come home, I'm going to call. And she was going on, well, you're going to regret this. Like, I'm going to have to leave and never be able to come back. You will regret this.
Was there a reason that, that you didn't make the call and it was your dad?
Because mom kept threatening me if I made the call.
Well, you said that you've had some issues with your mom in the past. Was there a reason you decided to let her babysit her that night? I know that, you said that you had...
Well, she's my mom. I wanted to trust her.
Sheriff Cassidy told the media on Friday, I was there, that you were giving conflicting statements.
Because I wouldn't necessarily... I was trying to protect my mom, maybe in hopes, oh, well, she'd just tell them where Evelyn was, but obviously she's not going to.
So now you're coming out and you're saying this is the honest truth, that you know where she is.
I know she has to be in a campground in Mendota with somebody. And mom told me that they had a silver camper, and that's all she would tell me.
Are you cooperating as much as you can with TBI and the Sullivan County Sheriff's Department?
I am.
But just tell me, how so are you, constantly on the phone with them, talking about the tips, anything like that?
Yeah, and I've looked into stuff online myself, like, people are, like, circulating pictures around me, like, oh, this is Evelyn, you know what I'm saying, and, like, that kind of thing. But no. And, like, Saturday, nobody would answer me, and I blew all their phones up. And every chance they've let me be up there, I have been up there.
And Wednesday will be a week since the Amber Alert went out. Tell me what you're thinking right now.
I just don't know if the person who has her is, like, maybe scared that they're going to get in trouble. But they won't. They just bring her back.
What are you thinking about her current status right now? Do you think she is okay? Do you think she's being taken care of? And what is your message to authorities right now? To the TBI, Sullivan County, and all of the sheriff's departments and any authority that's working on this case?
Just that if they don't take it seriously, what I just said, I will go find her myself. They've told me before they'll arrest me for tampering with evidence, and I told them on my phone, I was like, I don't care if you arrest me for tampering with evidence. If you go up there, I'm going to tonight.
Do you have a message to the public?
Don't stop until she's back. They need to stop reporting, like, psychics, for one, like, come on. You know what I'm saying? Because that just wastes the TBI's time when they could be actually trying to find my daughter. Instead, people are like, oh, well, this lady did a tarot card reading, like, you know what I mean? I feel like that just takes away from the time of, like, them actually searching for my daughter. I'm just happy that people are coming together to try to find her. Because the main important thing right now is the baby. I'm just happy that people are trying to find her.
Have you been in contact with her father, Ethan?
Yeah. He's actually trying to get leave approved right now to come up here and try to, help find her.
What is her relationship like with him?
She's only been around him a couple times because when he was in the Army.
And what is your relationship like with him? Do you keep in contact with him?
Well, yeah, we have a kid together. You know what I mean?
Did you notify him when you knew something was wrong?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you have multiple social media profiles? Is one that we've been getting a lot.
Because I break phones a lot, and I forget the password. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm really bad about remembering passwords. Now I have them all set to one, but, up until that point, I just, I just couldn't remember the password to them. So I'll just make a new one when I got a new phone.
Tell me why you wanted to come out today and speak with us.
Just to talk about Evelyn, and, if TBI doesn't go find her or not, I'm hell-bent on going myself. And that's the truth, one way or another.
This is a really big case, and a lot of people have a lot of questions surrounding this. Is there any other message that you want to send to anyone?
Well, if you don't have tips for sure, because over 370 some tips have been called in, and they've just not panned out. Like, I appreciate the people trying to help, but, like, also that's wasting, like, TBI's time, because they have to check out every single lead that's called in.
Obviously it's been a long time since you've seen her. Are you worried about that? About reuniting with her?
No, because I love her. I know she loves me.
And do you think she's been taken care of well in the time that you've missed with her?
I hope she has been.
Tell me what the first things you want to do with her.
I'm just gonna hug her and not let her go.
Wow.
Like, they'll have to pry her from my arms. Literally, because I'm just not gonna let her go. Probably gonna sing Baby Shark to her. And just hug her and not let her go. My favorite thing is the first time she kissed me, Lord, I cried for over a week because she would pull my hair and I would just let her do it, you know, because I love her. Like, I didn't want to make her cry or be upset in any way, and she would pull chunks of my hair out. And she was in her walker one night and, like, she dropped her sippy cup and I bent down to pick it up and I was like, oh, she's gonna pull my hair. She pulled my face close to her and she kissed my cheek, and I just, like, cried about it for over a week because I was like, oh my God, I'm the first person that she's kissed, you know what I'm saying? Just like little stuff like that. I love her to death, and I would hate to have missed out on anything, especially because of my mom.
And obviously, you know, you told me you talked to your mom a couple of times throughout this, and each time did she give you any update on Evelyn?
She just told me that she was safe.
So when was the last time you talked to your mom? Like, physically, just the two of you on the phone, or?
Wednesday, the 19th.
Tell me any details about that conversation.
I mean, she was just going off on me and wanting to go to Mendota, and I kept telling her, I was like, if Evelyn's in Mendota, just take me to her. I will take her up there. We can just end this right now. Like, let's make this simple. Just give me my child back right now before this gets blown out of proportion. And she would never be like, oh yeah, I'm taking you. She'd just be like, you don't need to talk to them. I don't want you going up there, and like stuff like that. And I was like, okay, well, if you're not going to take me to her, pull over, and I will have like somebody on Sullivan County's in come get me to go up there and talk to them.
What is your biggest fear right now?
I have a lot of them. Just that I don't know that maybe they won't find her tonight, or, you know, maybe they don't find her tomorrow. Maybe it's weeks from now before they find her. You know, the people aren't going to be like, oh, well, like, I'm not giving her back because I've kept her for 2 months. This is my child now. Well, still, I'm just worried that they're going to be angry about that. You know what I mean?
No, right.
She just needs to come home.
Exactly.
She's been away from her mom for long enough.
So, I know there are a ton of social media rumors, so if there's anything that you wanted to set straight that I'm not aware of, I will. This is
Gypsies are not a cult. They've been asking people if there's like a gypsy ringleader, and like, I mean, like, we're not like ringleaders. We're not like out here kidnapping babies or anything like that.
So would you describe your family as a gypsy family?
Well, yeah. And like, my dad's very proud of that, you know, but he's just mad about all the rumors going around, like, trashing them because, like, we're not a cult, you know what I mean?
And now that your mom is back here and are getting ready to be back here in Sullivan County, what do you hope comes out of that? Obviously, she and her, what believes her boyfriend was arrested.
Well, I doubt she's going to tell the truth, but hopefully she does. For Evelyn's sake. Not even for her sake at this point. Just if she hears this, I hope you tell the truth for her sake. Like, that is your grandbaby. It's went on long enough.
Investigators have followed up on more than 500 leads with no credible sightings as the search continues for 15-month-old Evelyn Boswell. An Amber Alert was issued for her last week. A reward fund for information leading to her safe return now stands at nearly $59,000. New at 5 tonight, Megan Boswell, the mother of Evelyn, tells us she is pregnant again. She said she was unable to take a polygraph test, she said, for that reason. This as the investigation into Evelyn's whereabouts continues. In an interview with News Channel 11 last night, Megan told us that her mother, Angela Boswell, was the last person to have Evelyn.
I was trying to protect my mom, maybe in hopes, oh, well, she'd just tell them where Evelyn was, but obviously she's not going to.
News Channel 11's Kelly Grossfield joins us now live from the Sullivan County Sheriff's Office, where deputies responded to some of the claims that Megan Boswell made in that interview with us last night. Kelly?
Sarah, after interviewing Megan last night, we did follow up on some of the things she said. During the interview, she stated that she knew where Evelyn was the entire time. She says her mother, Angela Boswell, took Evelyn to a campsite in Mendota that she says she told TBI to search and they didn't. After speaking with investigators, they say that's just not true. In a press conference last week, Sheriff Cassidy said Megan Boswell's story continued to change throughout the course of the investigation. After speaking with her Monday night, she says she told police who had Evelyn from the start.
I know she has to be in a campground in Mendota with somebody. And Mom told me that they had a silver camper, and that's all she would tell me.
She claimed TBI did not search campgrounds in the Mendota area. According to Captain Andy Seabolt with the Sullivan County Sheriff's Office, they did check. They also checked every site again last night and found nothing. We also asked about the rumors of her being pregnant, which at the time she denied. But new developments Tuesday has her confirming she is pregnant. She released this news by stating it was the reason she couldn't take a polygraph. We reached out to investigators, and officials with the Sullivan County Sheriff's Office say they don't even have a polygraph. TBI officials told us Megan was not scheduled to meet with a polygraph examiner through them either. As investigators continue their search for Evelyn, they also continue their search for the truth. I did speak with Megan earlier this afternoon, asking her for an interview regarding these new developments, and she declined.
This is breaking news from News Channel 11.
The mother of missing Sullivan County toddler Evelyns Boswell is arrested. Good evening. Thanks for choosing News Channel 11 at 11 tonight. I'm Sarah Diamond. Josh Smith has the night off. 1 week after her daughter was reported missing, Megan Boswell was arrested on one count of giving false information to authorities. Ansley Daniel joins us now live from the Sullivan County Sheriff's Office with the latest on this breaking news. Ansley?
Sarah, it's been almost a week since that Amber Alert was issued for missing 15-month-old Evelyns Boswell. Tonight, the Sullivan County Sheriff's Department telling us that her mother, Megan Boswell, was arrested on account of giving false reports. This mugshot that you are seeing on your screen right now was released tonight around 9:30 by the Sheriff's Office. Boswell remains in jail tonight on a $25,000 bond. Earlier today, News Channel 11 crews saw her going into the sheriff's office around 1 p.m. Captain Andy Seabolt says every time she has spoken with investigators, her story has changed.
Where is Evelyns Boswell? That's the question on everybody's mind.
Crews are searching a North Carolina pond in connection to the disappearance of the 15-month-old. News Channel 5's Sina Salim following the latest twists and turns in this case. And Sina, there have certainly been some challenges, right?
There has been, and that's because police say that the mother's story keeps changing, and it's that inconsistency that led to her arrest last night for false reporting. By now you know this sweet face. 15-month-old Evelyns Boswell was last seen in December, but she wasn't reported missing until a week ago.
Every time we talk to her, her story changes. I'm serious when I say that, every single time.
That's Sullivan County Sheriff Jeff Cassidy talking about his frustration with Megan Maggie Boswell. The 18-year-old was arrested for false reporting after investigators say she gave conflicting statements. The mom has sole custody of Evelyn.
She has been inaccurate, conflicting statements all through this investigation.
We got a hold of Maggie's arrest affidavit, revealing she told investigators the little girl was with the child's father, and they were supposed to meet last week to exchange custody. But after further investigating, detectives determined the father is actively enlisted in the U.S. Army and currently stationed in Louisiana, and Evelyn isn't with him. Boswell also told investigators her daughter could be in Virginia, and yet still no sign of her.
Very frustrating. 2 months before she's even reported missing. It puts us behind, puts our investigation behind.
Investigators are not giving up, taking their search to Wilkes County, North Carolina. That's where investigators also arrested Evelyn's grandmother and William McLeod last weekend, questioning them about the toddler's disappearance. We just learned from our affiliate, McLeod's family owns the land next to the pond investigators are searching. The search turned out inconclusive. The reward for Evelyn's whereabouts is now nearly $60,000. Everyone has their eyes on this case, including lawmakers. Today, lawmakers introduced an amendment to existing legislation now known as the Evelyn Law. It will increase penalties against parents or guardians who fail to report a missing child within 48 hours of that child's disappearance to law enforcement. In the newsroom, Sina Salim, News Channel 5.
Thanks, Sina. And as Sina said, this case is highly unusual, from the way Evelyn was reported missing to the stories family members are telling to investigators. As the search continues, thousands of Tennesseans are still hoping for a happy ending.
This evening, we received information that led TBI agents and Sullivan County detectives to a property belonging to a family member of Evelyn's mother in the 500 block of Muddy Creek Road in Blumpville. During the search, investigators discovered human remains believed to be those of a 15-month-old girl. The remains will be sent for an autopsy and a positive identification. At this time, the investigation is in the very early stages. There's a lot of work left to be done, and right now, This is the extent of what we can provide today.
Tonight at 11, team coverage continues in the 19 counts brought against Megan Boswell, the mother of Sullivan County toddler Evelyn Boswell. Thanks for choosing News Channel 11 at 11. I'm Sarah Diamond.
And I'm Josh Smith. Today's announcement that Megan Boswell now has been charged in her daughter's death comes 6 months to the day after the toddler was first reported missing.
Megan Boswell faces 17 other criminal charges in addition to 2 counts of felony murder. Evelyns' remains were found on a family member's property near Bluntville March 6th. Until now, no one had been charged in her death.
Today, investigators did not say how Evelyn died, only that she was killed while being abused and neglected.
Ansley Daniel begins our team coverage live tonight from Bluntville.
Josh and Sarah, Megan Boswell has been in the Sullivan County Jail since February 25th. But tonight, for the first time, she's going to sleep in the jail behind me, charged with 2 counts of felony murder and a slew of other charges.
This afternoon, the grand jury of Sullivan County returned a true bill of presentment charging Megan Boswell with a total of 19 counts. There were 2 counts of felony murder.
The announcement from authorities after months of investigation that they say left them with a clear conclusion that Evelyn Boswell was murdered. And the person who did it was her mother, who gave birth to her 15 months earlier.
After an extensive and thorough investigation, other individuals were eliminated as suspects, and Megan Boswell became the sole suspect in this case.
On March 6th, Evelyn's body was found in a shed on her grandfather's property. Tonight, a gate was closed outside that property and inquiries for an interview were not returned. Wednesday, her mother was charged with her murder. 19 charges in all, including child abuse and neglect, tampering with evidence, abuse of a corpse, and failure to report a death.
She didn't deserve this. No child does. And that's why we will continue to work to pursue justice in this case.
Megan Boswell's attorney, Brad Sproles, heard about the charges placed on his client during the press conference. He had not spoken to her beforehand.
There's volumes and volumes of evidence that they've had to go through, so that would be the next step, is we will get the state's evidence and Ms. Boswell and I will go through all that.
Sproles is expecting to speak with her via video conference by the end of the week, but authorities aren't releasing any more details outside of the charges.
Please know that we can't speak to the evidence gathered during this investigation because this case now has to be prosecuted.
When asked if he was surprised about the indictments, Megan Boswell's attorney had this to say.
I'd rather not answer that.
Megan Boswell's accused of killing her then 15-month-old daughter Evelyn over 2 years ago. Now she faces 2 counts of felony murder and is accused of lying to investigators. Her daughter's remains were found on a family member's property.
In today's hearing, a forensic pathologist said Evelyn's cause of death was asphyxia, and a TBI agent said her body was found inside of a trash can in a playhouse.
Ansley Daniel has been in the courtroom throughout the day monitoring the graphic testimony. Ansley, let's go through the developments that came out of the hearing today.
Well, Josh and Sarah, a lot of information came out of this 3-hour hearing today that detailed the photos of the night that Evelyn was found. Now, the purpose of today's hearing was to decide which photos could be used in trial. They weren't shown today, but were only described in testimony. That testimony, though, revealed that Evelyn died of asphyxiation or suffocation. The state did bring in a forensic pathologist to explain how these photos reveal her cause of death, along with how decomposed her body was when it was found. It explained that Evelyn was found inside of a playhouse, but that her body was wrapped in aluminum foil, then inside what is described as a thick fleece blanket. She was then put in a trash bag and placed upside down in a garbage can.
What's really important for me was to show the placement of the foil and how tightly actually one can see the outline of the head and upper body with the foil being attached. So it's not crumpled foil from somebody, I don't know, barbecuing or doing something and then putting it next to the child. It's actually wrapped around the upper part of the child.
The photos also show indentions on Evelyn's head and body from the foil and blanket and show that her body was in a position the pathologist said wouldn't allow her to breathe. The court did have to take a recess before getting deep into that testimony today because Megan Boswell hadn't seen the photos before today's hearing. She was visibly crying when she walked back into the courtroom this afternoon.
The pictures that we went back and went through are very graphic and just very disturbing. And, you know, she reacted the way I would expect any of us to.
The search for a missing toddler became an investigation into the tragic death of Evelyn Mae Boswell.
During the search, investigators discovered human remains believed to be those of a 15-month-old girl.
Evelyn. Hi.
But what happened to her? It's a story full of deception and lies.
The reason I didn't report it or anything is because I knew the person who had her.
Do you know where Evelyn is? Is Evelyn's mother telling the whole truth?
Every time we talk to her, her story changes. I'm serious when I say that, every single time.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Kristen Kwan. I've been covering this story since the very beginning, alongside my colleagues here at News 5 WCYB. It's a story that captured national attention, people offering their hopes and their prayers. But ultimately, this is a story of innocence lost and the unanswered question, what happened to this beautiful baby girl? What happened was a mystery that was about to spiral out of control. Captain Andy Siebold, the public information officer, was the first to relay information that the department needed help locating the missing child.
Right now, we're not sure of her exact location. It could be anywhere for what we know.
The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation and the FBI, the TBI came in and we set up all the protocol for an Amber Alert, and we immediately sent it out.
A desperate search underway for a toddler who's been missing since December.
And we begin right now with breaking news. An Amber Alert issued out of Sullivan County.
The search for Evelyn Boswell continues today. The 15-month-old is still missing.
The case quickly gained media attention. But where was Evelyn? And why did someone wait 2 months to report her missing? Questions Captain Strickler also wanted to know.
So we were already behind the 8 ball. We didn't know what we had at that time.
This car, this vehicle with the occupants, is a gray 2007 BMW with Tennessee tags 3M9 6W9. I am personally donating $1,000 for award for any information that results in the safe return of Evelyn, and would like to solicit other community members or anybody from the nation to attach themselves with me to aid in bringing sweet Evelyn home.
At the same time the sheriff of Sullivan County spoke with the public about Evelyn's disappearance, Megan Boswell was having her own news conference with WCYB.
I just want her back. You know, that's my child.
Megan had an answer for why she would wait so long to report her little girl missing.
Well, the reason I didn't report it or anything is because I knew the person who had her, and I didn't want them to run away with her. And as soon as they thought anything was going on, they just kind of vanished.
The Sullivan County Sheriff's Office wasn't any closer to an answer on where baby Evelyn was. Thousands of tips began to come through the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation hotline.
We would send our officers to those locations. We would send investigators. If it was somebody in New Mexico or Colorado or California, we would call the agencies there and they would send somebody out to help us. So this case, in effect, you know, it affected the whole nation. There is nobody that wanted Evelyn back safe than the Sullivan County Sheriff's Office and the TBI and the FBI.
While police investigated those leads, the public was doing their own investigating. Social media took off with rumors about the Boswell family and where Evelyn could be.
This started rolling. It was just like a snowball rolling down a hill. It just kept getting bigger and bigger.
Megan addressed the social media rumors, saying she didn't care that people assumed she had something to do with Evelyn's disappearance.
It depends on if you talk to somebody who actually knows me, if you're talking to somebody on the internet who lives 500 miles away and is just trying to speculate in on it. Because if you talk to anybody who actually knows me, you know, they know that I would never hurt Evelyn or do anything like that.
So why not take a polygraph test and clear your name? Her answer was she couldn't.
I am pregnant, that's why they won't give me a polygraph. Due to policy, if you're pregnant, they cannot give you one.
Megan also urged the public to continue searching.
$56,000 in reward money, you know, nobody gives a about getting them in trouble. We all just want the baby back. Like, I promise you, TBI does not care. You know, nobody cares. It's just getting the baby back.
Captain Strickler says Megan wasn't helping their investigation at all.
She was sending us on the proverbial wild goose chase. It was like we were taking, you know, one step forward and two steps back.
How frustrating is that in a case this big to have so many lies that you're being told?
We were so far behind because of the way that it all transpired. You know, we can say that Evelyn went missing in and around sometime in December. It was reported February the 18th. So we're already behind the 8 ball, which is within itself frustrating.
The sheriff also touched on the statements Megan made to WCYB concerning why she wouldn't take a polygraph test.
She was never asked to meet us for any polygraph. We don't actually have a polygraph examiner. Tennessee Bureau of Investigation does the polygraphing. We never set up any type of interview for her. And the pregnant statements, I'll have to leave that to her. That's information she released to you. Of course, it being medical, there's HIPAA violations that we have to look into.
But a check of the Sullivan County jail records revealed that Megan was not telling the truth about her new baby. When Megan was booked into jail, the number of pregnant inmates did not change.
You know, it's absolutely, these type of cases will destroy you.
Her body surrounded by her toys and diapers.
Just to know, and you're human enough to think about things and think about what she went through, maybe, and just the whole totality of the circumstances is enough to, you know, emotionally just destroy someone.
It's not over for the detectives at the Sullivan County Sheriff's Office. If anything, it's now the beginning.
There is nobody from in this nation, from one coast to the other, that wants to see justice for Evelyn more than we do. And we're going to do everything we possibly can to make that happen.
The Sullivan County mother arrested in relation to her toddler's death, now facing a new first-degree murder charge. It's our top story here on First at 4. I'm Casey Marler. Megan Boswell accused of killing her 15-month-old daughter, Evelyn Boswell. She was at the center of an Amber Alert that spanned several states before investigators found her remains in March of 2020 on a family member's property in Blountville. News Channel 11's Ansley Daniel was inside the courtroom today. Ansley, what happened at the hearing?
Well, Casey, that hearing actually turned into an arraignment. Megan Boswell has now been charged with a new first-degree murder charge of premeditated murder. The state actually took these findings to the grand jury last month. This is in addition, though, to the 2 counts of felony murder, false reports, aggravated child abuse and neglect, tampering with evidence, abuse of a corpse, and failure to report a death.
We had additional information from the investigation, and we decided that we would add this charge if the grand jury felt that we had enough evidence to do so.
Megan Boswell's attorney, Gene Scott, says that he was given a heads up about the charge after it was presented to the grand jury. Megan pleaded not guilty to it today.
Thank you for taking the time to listen to baby Evelyns' story. I appreciate it. Stay safe out there, and may little angel Evelyn Boswell rest in peace.